Hey, what's going on? It's Jacob. I'm back again with week 2 of the devlog. This week was not as productive as last week. Um, I was stuck on a lot of CSS concepts that I just couldn't get across and really understanding them. Uh, so a lot of my time was at the beginning of the week was working on that. So um, my productivity wasn't as where I wanted to be. I didn't go as far in my courses as I did as I wanted to be. But besides that, I mean, I think the week was an okay week regarding learning. Definitely change some stuff around. The first thing would be I haven't really worked on Free Code Camp. I think I did. Um, I think I was able to get up to here, and I just did these two on Monday and Tuesday. As I got a little bit more interested in another thing, which if you can see this tab, um, that I sort of switched over to the Odin Project. Free Code Camp was pretty good. I mean, I just didn't really like following along with how it was working, and I wasn't really retaining any information from it anymore. Like after when it got out of the basic concepts, I sort of just took a step back. But yeah, I won't be using it right as of now, as I switched over to the Odin project, which I've gotten a decent amount done. So I got into their introduction, their installation and prerequisites, um, their Git basics, their HTML fundamentals, and I've just started their CSS fundamentals. I finished this sort of. One of their assignments is to style your project for Git recipes or Odin recipes, and I just haven't like finished the full styling just because I've been trying to also put in prior knowledge with grid, flexbox, um, and just trying to make it look somewhat presentable. Not really too worried about how it looks, more just trying to work on the concepts that I've learned, which I think is the most important thing to be doing. So, but yeah, no, the CSS fundamentals. I finished this one just working on the assignments now. We'll probably get these out of the way either today or tomorrow. The goal is to keep the productivity up just due to where the productivity was last week, as I sort of had a slow start, as I was stuck on a lot of stuff. Like Flexbox definitely was beating me up a little bit, um, and Grid was beating me up a little bit too. But I don't believe you work on Grid until you get to uh, their other courses. Oh, here it is. All paths. You go here. Yeah, I think this is where you get into CSS Grid. Yeah, so definitely going to be working on the Odin project. I really like their curriculum right now, and I really like how we're using Git. I've gotten a lot better with Git um, and understanding the technology and just being somewhat fluent in it, as it isn't really too difficult, but it's actually pretty interesting how you're updating your code via the command line and committing it to Git and then pushing it. So it's pretty interesting stuff. But yeah, I'll show you my recipe project. Um, I am doing this on a MacBook just because it's so much easier. I've tried setting up a virtual machine on this computer before, and it works for one boot up, and then it just stops. And I've wasted probably over 10 to 20 hours trying to get it to work. So I didn't want to go through the same thing for this project, so I decided to not do that. But yeah, here's my project right now. Um, Kept the title at top. I'm gonna possibly put a nav bar up top, with like maybe an about section and like a fake contact section, something like that. But besides that, I have a pretty decent like title and some description. I did Flexbox for this, so I have these guys in a column together, and then this guy is a different flex child of this whole container. And then I also did grid for this, which was pretty simple, just one fraction for each one, and then I put a little bit of a gap in between. And then I used Flexbox again, and I just justified the contents to be spaced evenly. So it's going. It might be spaced around. I don't remember exactly actually. So, but I did use Flexbox for this, And then this is where I sort of stopped with my styling as I finished up the week and worked this weekend, so I was a bit busy. But I'll be styling these pages today as I finish up on the CSS foundations. Probably knock these out and get working on their CSS exercises, which I really enjoy. But yeah, so that's pretty much the Odin project and what I worked on with that. And then when it comes to like Git and all that stuff, I've been getting pretty well-rounded in it, as it's pretty simple. So like I keep updating it. I looked at like you should be committing anytime there's a big change or change, so I've been doing that. But yeah, and then I also worked a little bit on my course for Zero to Mastery. This was where I wish I was a little bit more productive last week, so this week I'll be more productive as I just entered the JavaScript stuff. The first stuff was pretty simple. I do know a little bit of Python and the basics of a programming language, so a lot of this stuff wasn't really new to me. Just like sort of the syntax and where we're at, but yeah, working on putting JavaScript on our web page and other stuff. So be pretty decent. Try to get down to at least the end of DOM manipulation at the end of this week, and a goal would be to at least be somewhere in the JavaScript basics for the Odin project, as just going to knock out the CSS stuff as I'm getting more familiar with it. But yeah, that's pretty much been this week. Nothing too different, just progressing the knowledge little by little. And yeah, so that's it for this week. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.